Hey, what's up guys? It's Marf and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be doing something a bit different from usual. Lately there's been this trend going around on YouTube where people rank different things on a tier list, and I figured I would go ahead and do the same but put my own little twist on it. And instead of doing things like, well, what's been really popular lately has been ranking fast food restaurants and other things like that. I figured I would put my own twist on it and decided to give it a go with all of the Asphalt games. Yes, I have every single one of their icons here. I don't think I'm missing any. If I am, let me know in the comments, but I'm pretty sure I got everything here. Now, there are a couple games that I haven't played, and I'll go over them once I get to them. But besides only a couple of them, I have played every single Asphalt on this list. And so I loaded up the tier list maker thing here. And by the way, if you want to use this website to rank your tier list of Asphalt games, I will have hopefully a link in the description down below to this same list making site here. I actually made this tier list here with all the Asphalt games, so you guys can go ahead and do it too. And as well as that, just let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below as well. So yeah, all right, let's get right into it. So the first one we have here is Asphalt 9. This is the latest one to be released, obviously. Actually, this is not right. Why is this? Wait, this is not right. I gotta go ahead and correct this here. There we go. That makes more sense. I don't know why it was like that before, but yeah, I used the S, A, B, C, D list like they do in Asphalt just to kind of like poke fun at that. Anyway, so yeah, I'm just gonna straight put that there. I think you guys can mostly agree with me on this one. Asphalt 9 really hasn't been that good. The problem is that there hasn't been any other game to replace the Asphalt franchise. So Asphalt is really all we have left for mobile arcade racing games, really, which is kind of sad. But that's just kind of the reality of it. I've talked about this game and its flaws ever since it came out, so I think you guys know my real opinion on this game. So yeah, obviously I gotta put it at the bottom. Next up, oh, this is actually the logo, and actually some of you guys might not even know some of these games existed, so hopefully you'll learn something today as well. But this game right here, this is Asphalt Overdrive. I think it was released in 2014, about a year after Asphalt 8 was released, and it was one of those attempts by Gameloft to make a very low level mobile game. Like, they've always been the game company or the developers that would make mobile games that were like kind of above the other ones, like above games like Candy Crush or like Clash of Clans, or, you know, stuff that like at least catered to an audience that was like aware of what they were playing, not just trying to kill time. But Asphalt Overdrive was like an example of when Gameloft would try and do something like that. They were like, all right, we see this endless runner, let's kind of like take that concept, except not make it endless for some reason. But you know what? I actually really enjoyed this game. I'm not going to put it up in anywhere like the S or A tier. I mean, it did have an energy system, and, you know, for a game, for at least for an Asphalt game, the depth really wasn't there a lot. But it definitely was very fun to kill some time, and the graphics on it were really, really good. The cars looked really nice in that game. Unfortunately, it isn't available on the App Store, but I still have it downloaded on my iPhone, so I can still play it. And I have been actually enjoying it recently. I've gotten all the way up to the last tier of cars and events, and like I said, I've been enjoying it. Obviously, it's not something I would enjoy for hours on end, but if I just whip out my phone real quick and play a couple of games, you know, there is some fun to be had there. So yeah. So next up, oh, here it is, Asphalt Injection. So this is one of the games that I actually have not played before, so I'm going to put it all the way over there. I heard it was kind of like a combination between Asphalt 6 and Asphalt 7, and it was only on the PS Vita, I believe, and I've never owned a PS Vita in my life, so I wouldn't know what it was like to play this game, although I would absolutely love the opportunity to play Asphalt Injection. But unfortunately, that day hasn't come yet, so I just don't know what that game is like. Here we go. Asphalt Urban GT, the one that started it all. So this was available on Nintendo DS, as you can see by the little like white strip there. It's kind of cut off, but I believe I own this game in its physical form. I don't have it on me right now, but it should be like in a drawer next to me or whatever. But I do actually own this game, and I have played it recently. And obviously, it's not the best Asphalt because it was their first attempt at doing it, but it was the OG Asphalt, the one that started it all. Got to place it around in the middle there. It wasn't a really good game, but it wasn't a really bad game. They did kind of try and jump on the bandwagon of like racing arcade games. I think this was back in the early 2000s-ish era. But yeah, not the worst game, not the best game, kind of like Asphalt Overdrive, but still some fun to be had there. If you ever have an opportunity to just see what Asphalt was like in its earliest days, I recommend you do so. But just try not to pour hours into this game because like that'd be kind of useless. So here we go. Asphalt Xtreme is the next one, and this is a very controversial game because it was the first Asphalt game to be released as a fully free game in terms of like a mainline entry. Well, it's not really a mainline entry, it's more of a spin-off, but nothing like Asphalt Overdrive was or like Asphalt Street Storm. This really was like an Asphalt title, you know what I mean? And it was the first one to be fully free, and it was the first one with the the oil system, or what we know as the fuel system today in Asphalt 9. And obviously the game died out very quickly. You might not even have known about this game if you recently started playing Asphalt 9 or Asphalt 8, but Asphalt Xtreme came out, I believe, in early 2016, or I think it was late 20 or it was either late 2016, early 2017, somewhere around there. You know what? I'm gonna be honest. The gameplay itself, if you just kind of take that aside and you look at what it is like to play the game, you know, in a race, I thought it was extremely fun. I really personally loved the nitro system in this game. I thought it was really satisfying to get those long streaks of long nitros. And, you know, while the physics weren't that great, they had a lot of issues. I really did enjoy that nitro system and just the fluidity of the game itself. I thought it was really good. So I'm not going to put it up in the A tier. I don't think it deserves to be up there, but definitely a B tier game. Yeah, not too good, but not that bad either. Very kind of similar to Asphalt Overdrive and Asphalt Urban GT. But I did recently start playing Asphalt Xtreme again, and they did introduce, I believe, like a really bad blueprint system, and I really don't like that. So you know what? I'm going to go ahead and change that and put it down to the C level. The gameplay had a lot of potential, but over time they really did ruin it. All right, so next up here we have Asphalt 4 Elite Racing. This was the first game to be released on iOS, you know, on like the what we know now of today as mobile gaming on those platforms. It was Gameloft's first venture into the smartphone, well, not smartphone, but more or less just the like iPhone and Android ecosystem. This was actually not the first Asphalt I played, but I did play this right after I played my first Asphalt, and it was on my, I want to say like iPod Touch 4th generation. I really enjoyed it, and overall it's a really solid game and really what started Asphalt's run on iOS. So I'm going to put it up at the A tier. It was fun. I did a mobile classics video on it, so if you want to check that out, be sure to do so. I really had fun going back and playing this game on my good old iPod Touch 5th generation. So yeah, next up is Asphalt Street Storm, and what a shitstorm this was. Holy crap, this definitely deserves to be on the D tier. I mean, it had everything. The blueprint system, from what I remember, the energy system, from what I remember. Basically, they were like, hey, you know that whole CSR thing? Yeah, let's just do that, but worse. So yeah, definitely deserves to go there. A lot of people said the graphics were really good. I thought they were just kind of mediocre, so I'm going to put it down here, the D tier. Definitely not one of the best Asphalts. It really was, you know, I'm going to consider it to be one of the worst Asphalts ever to be released. It really was just like a cash grab, like really terrible. I don't know what Gameloft was thinking. I don't know why they put resources into trying to develop that game. It really was bad. All right, so next up, Asphalt 8. All right, so this is going to be a controversial one because before going into this video, I knew where I wanted to place it, and I know what you guys are going to think when I placed it all the way up here at the S tier. You're going to be like, what the hell, Marf? I mean, look at the recent updates. Look what they've done to this game. I mean, they just completely ruined it. And I have to agree with you. They really did ruin this game for me. And, well, everyone who's played it. I mean, the game is really, you know, I think it's quite dead as of right now. But I wanted to place it up here because of the first few months of this game's life cycle were just some of the best I've ever played in mobile gaming ever. I mean, from the time that I saw the original teaser trailer, up until when they started making the game like pay to win and free to play and all that sort of stuff. I mean, those were just some of the best mobile gaming days I've ever had. I mean, it really was such a step up from the previous Asphalt games in terms of graphics and the quality and just everything. I do have to admit that the soundtrack wasn't that good because it wasn't an original soundtrack. There were some original pieces of music. The main theme song, I think it was called Bleach, was just amazing. And some of the in-game soundtrack pieces were originally made. But besides that, most of the game consisted of copyrighted, like, you know, tracks and things like that. And I didn't really like that. I don't think that you can really take music and kind of shove it into a game and make it work. Some music songs, wow, I can't even talk. Some pieces of music were better than others, but overall I didn't really enjoy the soundtrack that much. I thought it was good, but it definitely wasn't as good as some of the previous Asphalt in terms of, you know, because they had an original soundtrack. But those first couple of weeks and those first couple of months of this game's release were just utterly amazing. So I have to put that up there. So next up we have Asphalt 6, and you guys, if you know me, you know that I think this is the greatest Asphalt game to ever be released ever. Asphalt 6 really was a step up from Asphalt 5, and it really innovated on the gameplay and the quality, and the cars in this game were amazing. At the time, the graphics were just amazing. This has my favorite soundtrack in it, and the style of this game was just pure bliss. I mean, I loved the colors, I loved the neon blue, I loved the purple you can see in here, like kind of hot pink. The Pagani Zonda Cinque, the Bugatti Veyron, the Lamborghini Estoque, just some of the best cars in the Asphalt franchise are in this game. And yeah, I just think this game is amazing. I made a video on this game a while back. I think it was like why Asphalt 6 is the best Asphalt, and I highly recommend you check that out. And if you haven't played Asphalt 6, I highly recommend you do. Like I said, I think it is the best Asphalt game to ever be released, ever. So next up we have Asphalt 7. Now I'm gonna put this just straight up here into the A tier. It really was just an improved Asphalt 6, which is a great thing because you know, they had, like, I think it was about a year and a half ish to improve what they did for Asphalt 6. The graphics were improved, and just overall it was just more Asphalt. You know, it wasn't necessarily anything new, but they just threw more at us, and I really enjoyed it. The soundtrack wasn't as punchy and as like really good as I thought Asphalt 6 soundtrack was, but I thought it was definitely good. And the graphics were great, like I said, and it was much more fluid than Asphalt 6 ever was. And overall, it was just a nice, solid Asphalt game. I really enjoyed my time playing that game. I think I played it like on a family member's iPad first. Like, it first came out, I believe, in the summertime of 2012, I want to say, something like that. And I was away from home, and I didn't have access to my devices, so I actually had to borrow someone else's iPad to play this game, and it was really amazing. This was actually one of the only Asphalt games to ever support 60 FPS. Asphalt 9 supports it on limited devices, but Asphalt 7 openly embraced 60 FPS, which was pretty much unheard of at the time for mobile gaming. Nobody ever really cared about 60 FPS at that time except for Asphalt, which I thought was really, really innovative, and it really did help improve the fluidity of the game. So I have to give them props for that. Asphalt 7 was one of the most optimized Asphalts, and just one of the better looking ones in my opinion, obviously for its time, and just the amount of cars it had, the customization. It was just really a solid Asphalt title. Alright, so next up is Asphalt 3D. This was definitely a interesting Asphalt. It was like Asphalt 6 and 5 had this weird baby. The physics and the gameplay of Asphalt 5, but like the nitro system and the menu system and cars of Asphalt 6. So really, it was just kind of the best. Well, actually, no, I take that back. Asphalt 5's physics were, you know, not the best, but I certainly enjoyed them for what they were. I'm going to put Asphalt 3D in the B tier. Not the greatest, not the worst, but definitely another Asphalt title that's like, if you miss this game and you haven't played it, then you're not missing that much, but definitely a fun experience. And the 3D effect was actually done quite well. This was one of the launch titles, I believe, for the Nintendo 3DS, and I thought they did it fairly well. The graphics weren't amazing. They were basically, like I said, they were just ripped from Asphalt 5. So yeah, I mean, like I said, not the greatest Asphalt to be released, but I definitely had some good times playing that game. So next up is Asphalt 3 Street Rules, and just one of those I haven't played. From what I've heard, it really is just kind of like a lesser version of Asphalt 4. And I can kind of see how they were like, all right, we have Asphalt 3, we have this formula, and we have this new platform. Let's just go ahead and make Asphalt 3 a bit better and call it Asphalt 4. Like I said, I never played Asphalt 3, so I don't quite know if that's a correct statement, you know, just the fact that it's just like Asphalt 4, but not. So I honestly wouldn't know, but I've heard good things about the game, so I'll just kind of leave it there, and it looks pretty good. So next up is Asphalt 5, Jesus. This really was a pioneer in terms of mobile gaming. I mean, if you look at the difference between Asphalt 4 and Asphalt 5, it is absolutely humongous what they did to Asphalt in terms of like the leap between 4 and 5. I did make a video in my mobile classic series of Asphalt 5, and I highly recommend you watch that video. Now, keep in mind, this game is almost 10 years old at this point, and the leap of graphics in 1 year from 4 to 5 is just absolutely monumental, and it really was a testament to how good Gameloft was at making mobile games. They really were just perfectionists, and they really got it down right. Obviously, this game hasn't aged that well, and the physics really were very inconsistent. I mentioned in that game the acceleration was just kind of awful. But for what it was at the time, it really was one of the greatest games I've ever played. This was the first Asphalt I ever played, and I have to place it all the way up here because it was the first Asphalt I ever played. This was really my my introduction to the series. So yeah. Next up, we got Asphalt Urban GT 2. I'm gonna put that at the C tier. I heard it was really good on the PSP, and I played a bit of it. But really not too much to formulate like a nice solid opinion on it. It definitely was good, I think, for like the couple races. I think I uploaded a bit of footage from an emulator of this game. I can't quite remember, but I honestly haven't played it enough to really give a full opinion on it. But I'm going to put it at the C tier because it really wasn't like the greatest ever. It really seemed kind of bland from what I remember. And you'd actually be surprised how similar it was to later games such as Asphalt 4. It really just kind of cemented the formula of Asphalt. You know, you got the laps, you got the knockdowns, you got the nitro, and it was kind of clunky from what I remember. But this, yeah, I mean, that's really what it was for Asphalt back in the day. It was kind of just like its own thing, but not really too bold in what it was. But yeah, so next up here we have Asphalt Nitro, again a game I haven't played. I don't have an Android device, so I was never able to play this game, although I really would like to. But it really just kind of seemed like a watered down version of Asphalt 8, and I mean, it was really obvious from the gameplay that I watched that that's really what it was, just a watered down version of Asphalt 8 for devices that couldn't quite handle Asphalt 8. And I gotta give Gameloft props for trying to do something like that, you know, recognizing that not everyone had the latest and greatest devices and making a game specifically for lower end devices. And I heard that it was fairly good, so yeah, I don't know, I'm not gonna place it because I never played it, but yeah, so that is my definitive Asphalt tier list. I love this series, as you guys know. Obviously, you got the ones down here that I just think, you know, Gameloft is just being Gameloft when it comes to these games here. But I mean, I have to just, you know, commend 6 and 8. I mean, just the two best in the series. If you haven't played these two games, I highly recommend you do. Obviously, I recommend Asphalt 6 more than I do Asphalt 8 because of how bad Asphalt 8 Asphalt hate, lol. You know, how bad Asphalt 8 has become over the past couple of years of its like updates and stuff like that. But just from what it was from the beginning, it was just an amazing game. So let me know what you guys agree with and what you disagree with in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear what you guys think, and I will catch you guys in the next video.